Welcome to TwoQuestions.tv. I'm Susan Baroncini-Mo. Joining me today is Robert Dusty Staub, the president of Staub Leadership International. His company has been liberating the purpose, the passion, and the power of individuals, teams, and organizations since 1990. He's also the author of this book, The 7 Acts of Courage, Bold Leadership for a Wholehearted Life. Hi, Dusty. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Susan. Thank you.
Okay, what does it mean to live and lead wholeheartedly?
Well, a wholehearted life means that we pay attention to the depth of our deepest intuitions, which means we really listen to the deeper heart, not the physical pump, but that emotional, spiritual center which connects us with other people. You know, the ancient Chinese talked about 3 minds, the belly mind, the heart mind, and the head mind. And they said the head mind should be in service to the lower 2 minds. In other words, the belly mind, which gives us a sense of connection in the world and nurturance. The heart, which is about fellowship, about caring, about love, about agape, about real sense of deep connections. And then the head mind, which is the analytical problem-solving side. When we let the head be in charge, and it tries to give orders to the heart and the gut, we end up with disease. We end up with extra stress. We end up being out of whack because we're no longer listening to our deeper intuition. We're no longer listening to what nurtures us or others. And we're no longer really listening to the information and the wisdom that comes from an emotional sense of understanding other people and their needs, their interests, their hopes. One of the things we do in organizations, Susan, when we go in is, executives will say, well, we need more employee engagement. We've got some engagement issues. We've got too much conflict. We need better communication. We need better teamwork. We got quality issues. We have dissatisfied customers. We have complaining employees. Those are all symptoms
Of the same thing.
The same thing, a lack of heart, a lack of that sense of connection. And when we don't have it, people do not feel valued. They do not feel cared for, and they're not going to engage and give us their best efforts. And today you need that.
Yeah. So in the book, you talk a lot about courage. The book is about the 7 acts of courage. So why is courage so important to getting to the heart of things?
That's a great question. What I always say is that the word courage in English comes from the French word cœur, which means heart, which comes from the Latin, which has to do with connecting and of the heart. So when we're talking about courage, we're talking about finding our heart. When I'm encouraging you, I'm helping you find your heart. And what I've found now working with more than 200 organizations and CEOs, having done a lot of individual counseling and coaching over the years, that there is, when it's the lack of courage, and we break courage into 7 distinct acts, because courage is a big word. Everybody's got courage, yeah? Yes. But all of us lack courage or weaker in courage in 1 or 2 areas. So the first is the courage to dream and express the dream, to put it out there. And that takes courage because there's cynics, there's internet trolls, or people tell you you can't have it. And also you might fail. The second act of courage is the courage to see current reality, to see what's working for you and working against you, what you have going on, and seeing what really is rather than what you wish was so. Now, if I know where I want to go, I have the courage to put it out there, and if I have the courage to see current reality, it takes 5 distinct acts to go from current reality to the dream. I've got to have the courage to confront, and a lot of people lack the courage to confront or know how to confront their boss or
it's a tough one. Yeah.
Or their spouse. And by the way, getting angry and yelling at somebody and when I'm angry, dumping on you isn't confronting. That's vomiting on you. Right? And the reason we do that is because we didn't have the courage to do it before we got all upset.
Right.
The fourth courage is the courage to be confronted, to listen. Because if I'm going to dish it out, I need to hear it. I need to hear your truth. And your truth's different than mine. And we need to seek to understand together. The 5th act of courage is the courage to learn and grow, which means 2 things. The willingness to step into the unknown, ambiguity. And we all exist in a highly ambiguous age right now. Nobody knows where it's going. And the second piece is giving up the need to be right. I've written 4 books and I've written hundreds of articles and I've worked with thousands of people. And I have a lot of expertise. And I have to be willing to sometimes give up what I know is right to listen to someone else, very new, very young, who has an insight that I missed, or they put things together in a new way. right?
Ooh, that's hard to do.
It is hard to do, right? Right. You're an expert interviewer. And yes, sometimes we have to give up that need to be right if we want to learn.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I think that a lot of people in our society are addicted to being right. And we
Mhm.
can see it in Washington, D.C. right now, going on in spades. The sixth act of courage is the courage to be vulnerable.
Mhm.
And I was writing about this in 1998 when the hardcover edition of the 7 Acts of Courage came out. And Brene Brown, about 3 years ago, did a TED Talk on the power and the importance of vulnerability, which is now millions of people have seen.
Yeah.
So if you lack the courage to be vulnerable, you do not have true ingenuity. You do not have true innovation. You cannot really connect and feel joy in life. And it takes strength to be vulnerable. But our society teaches people, don't be vulnerable, don't be open. Don't let them see you cry, right?
Right.
It's bad advice. It really degrades relationships. It degrades performance. It hurts organizations.
Yeah.
And then finally, the seventh act of courage is the courage to act. But if I act now informed by the dream, current reality, confronting, being confronted, learning and growing, and being open and vulnerable, I act with greater wisdom. And those other 6 acts of courage are where you bring in the heart, where you bring in the gut.
Right.
And you're willing to be open to be influenced by others. And in that fellowship and that understanding, you're much wiser when you do take action. That makes sense?
Absolutely. Absolutely. The book is fantastic. I loved that you had these questions that you could kind of sit, and for me, it's always a sit and write on this question, and it allows me to kind of process differently. And so I loved those questions, and I thought they were really powerful questions and super helpful in terms of assessing where you need the most work. And that's really at the heart of what makes this such a powerful book. So great book. Where can people find you?
Well, people can find us on Amazon. The book, those 2 books are there. They also can find us on our website, www.staubleadership.com. And Staub is S-T-A-U-B, just Staub Leadership, one word. We also last year launched a new website just for the general public. Staub Leadership is a business to business. It's got links to all kinds of videos, free videos on our YouTube channel, etc. But the new website, in addition to that, is for the general public. It's for teachers, it's for students, it's for the world. And it's our gift back. It's called theactsofcourage.com. www.theactsofcourage.com, where there are videos and interviews. In fact, I would love to interview you to be on that.
I'm honored.
To be on that website in terms of talking about what courage has meant to you and how courage has informed your life.
Yes, let's schedule it.
All right, good.
All right, that'll be fun. All right, so we're going to have all the links in our show notes for today, viewers, so you can find Dusty and his books. And he's coming back to talk about another book, so stay tuned because that show will be coming up soon. In the meantime, here is the book. Link down below to Amazon so you can get your copy. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.